Australia was blessed with this modern day Maccabee who spoke the word of God and spoke the truth. Rabbi Schlanger is now dead, but his message of truth will echo throughout the ages.
Are you seeing a lot of parallels with what's happening in Australia and here in Canada as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it can happen right now, for all we know. It's devastating.
There's a great phrase, I don't know who came up with it, but first they come for the Saturday people, then they come for the Sunday people, and...
Exactly.
Is there a reason that we're in the Jewish neighborhood, the largest Jewish neighborhood in Canada today after the first night of Hanukkah? Nobody has an answer why we're in a Jewish neighborhood on the first night of Hanukkah, no? Good afternoon, Scarlett Grace with Rebel News. We are here at the intersection of Bathurst and Shepherd for a menorah lighting ceremony with the Jewish community of Toronto.
The menorah reminds us that there is a long list of people who have tried to erase our story. 2,200 years before today's attack in Sydney.
Now, this comes just hours after news of a terrorist attack in Australia that took the lives of 12 people, leaving 29 injured.
The government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws.
Still, today's events will carry on. This is a similar event to what was happening in Australia, an event marking the beginning of Hanukkah. But what is also carrying on is the pro-Palestine demonstrators who have been coming here every Sunday since October 2024. Now, they started coming here in response to the pro-Israel rallies that were held at the same intersection for 107 weeks consecutively after October 7th. Now, those pro-Israel rallies concluded in October of 2025 of this year, but still, the pro-Palestine crowd has come here to the heart of the Jewish neighborhood of Toronto to demonstrate weekly. And because they haven't had a crowd to necessarily target every week anymore, because the pro-Israel rallies have concluded, they've started going into residential streets and harassing people in front of their homes with a full police escort from Toronto Police. Now, thankfully, this week they do have a crowd to target, so hopefully people who are in their homes can stay in peace.
Given a few generations, Hamas and all of its fans, appeasers and enablers throughout the world will join those that came before them in the dustbin of history. And we will still be here lighting the lights of the Hanukkah candles.
We're here today to cover the event and hopefully going to get the opportunity to talk with people on both sides. We'd like to talk to the Jewish community about how they feel after the terrorist attacks in Australia today and going forward if they feel safe in Toronto because, again, we have these continuous demonstrations on the other side. Maybe we can get the opinion of those people too. What brought you out today?
I think the rise of the anti-Semitism and especially what happened on Bondi Beach yesterday. I have no words for what's going on in the world. It shouldn't be happening, anti-Semitism. And what I really want more than anything is for there to be peace in the world. And that's what I really, really want.
So we are here with Aaron Hadida, who owns and operates Magen Harut, the security company that has been on scene at Bathurst and Shepherd every week for the pro-Israel rallies until they concluded. How do you feel about the pro-Palestine protesters showing up for a menorah lighting Hanukkah tradition?
I think it's very telling. I think the fact that they're no longer hiding the fact that it's about Jew hatred is pretty telling because this isn't about Israel. This isn't about the IDF. Although for me it always is, but today isn't about that. Today is about a menorah lighting and a vigil for a terrorist attack that took place in Australia.
Giddy! How are you?
I'm great, sweetheart. I'm great.
Good to see you. So you are one of, if not the main organizer of the pro-Israel rallies, right?
That's right.
Okay, so how does it feel to be back on the corner of Bathurst and Shepherd? Because the rallies concluded in October, correct?
October 19th, we finished 107 weeks in a row without stop to support Israel, our hostages, our soldiers, and the entire community. And we promised that we would stay there until all the hostages came back. And by October 19th, they did come home. Unfortunately, today we are marking the holiday of Hanukkah, which is a celebration of the defeat of our enemies and the recapture of the temple. Unfortunately, a joyous day has now also turned into a tragic day. We don't even know how many people we lost today in Bondi Beach in Australia. We're brokenhearted, but we are going to celebrate this holiday because it is how we survive 2,000 years in the diaspora, and we will continue to celebrate Hanukkah and the miracle of Hanukkah no matter what happens.
I want to read to you a letter that Rabbi Schlanger, who was murdered in Sydney today, wrote to the Prime Minister of his country a couple of months ago, when Australia was on the cusp of betraying the Jewish people and denying our story. Dear Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, as a rabbi in Sydney, I implore you not to betray the Jewish people and not to betray God himself. The land of Israel was given to God by Abraham, then to his son Isaac, and then to Jacob, to be the eternal homeland of the Jewish people. Throughout history, Jews have been torn from their land again and again by leaders who are now remembered with scorn in the pages of history. Today, you, Mr. Prime Minister, have the opportunity to stand on the side of truth and righteousness. By rescinding this act of betrayal, you will not only honor the Jewish people and our heritage, but also align yourself with the Word of God. With hope and prayer, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, Sydney, Australia. Australia was blessed with this modern day Maccabee who spoke the Word of God and spoke the truth. Rabbi Schlanger is now dead, but his message of truth will echo throughout the ages. If the leaders of Australia choose to turn around and embrace that truth, they will be blessed. If they don't, it will be the undoing of their own civilization. The leaders of this country of Canada face a similar choice. If your strategy is to finger the political winds and electoral paths, you may win elections, but there won't be much of a country left to lead.
You want your freedom here in the Western society. You want your Western lifestyle. You have to show up. The other side, they are using our tax money as fund to be there. We have to be there in the streets because the streets are the only thing that we have to fight with these extremists, and we have to be here.
So you're seeing parallels between there was a terrorist attack in Australia today, and that could potentially keep people from coming out. People are scared, and you're saying that they need to come out anyways. That's where it matters.
That's my point. The Shah of Iran said it 50 years ago.
I've just showed up as myself, standing on the corner. They surrounded me 2 weeks ago, screaming at me, a rather large group of them, and a group of police stood here and did nothing.
So do you think it's fair to say that there is some police bias going on, or just not enough police action on part of protecting the Jewish community?
I think they're completely uninterested in protecting the Jewish community for whatever reason. As you can see here, tons of police cars, most of them sitting in their cars, playing on their phones, drinking coffee, not in amongst the crowd, not really interested in doing anything, not interested in upholding anything, not really interested in what's happening until it's right in front of their face and someone brings it to their attention.
We are joined with the Rebel truck today that is promoting nohate.com. It's recommending that if you see any targeted harassment to call 911. It's also saying that, again, the pro-Hamas crowd is promoting hatred, supporting a terrorist organization, harassing, stalking, intimidating, and coercing the locals, and uttering threats and breaching the peace. This is all things that we have seen people carrying that flag do in the city of Toronto. We're also showcasing footage of the anti-Israel crowd walking through the residential streets that they have been doing as of late, harassing the residents of the Jewish neighborhood in Toronto. So, I saw your Australian flag. What brought you out today to the menorah lighting?
Well, I am a dual Canadian Aussie, so this one hits home for me. I lived in Bondi, block away from the beach for 10 years. So it's my people, it's my community, it's my friends, my family who have all been impacted today. And so I came out today, one, to show our resilience as Jewish people, that we won't cower in fear, and that we will continue to celebrate our holidays, and it just gives us the resolve and the resilience to continue on, but also just, to stand with the people that I love so much.
The police have just told this gentleman that if he continues to wear his current getup, that he will be arrested. They threatened you with arrest?
They threatened me with arrest.
So what are you going to do?
I said, well, arrest me because I'm cold. And they're going to arrest me for being cold?
What led you to wear this outfit today?
I'm cold.
So you're not going to take it off? You're going to stay here even after the threat of arrest?
Yes, because I'm cold.
Good luck. What's going on?
This officer here, he says to me that he was going to go to the hate crime unit, and the hate crime unit was going to arrest me.
For wearing a shawl, I assume they're saying that it looks like you're mocking like a Muslim garment.
That wasn't my intention, and they were offended by it.
Isn't it interesting that they target you for wearing something that's not necessarily specific, but months ago they had somebody cosplaying as terrorist leader Yahya Sinwar in a chair, like posed as he was in his final photo. They didn't do one thing about that, but one shawl here offends the Toronto police that much.
Shawl is just a piece of fabric.
Yeah.
And it's cold out, and I'm not allowed to wear it in the color of...
So
they stopped him a few times. They come back and harassing him totally because he wore this.
And then he just walked away as I came up. So I wonder if they're going to come back and enforce that, or if you're just given a warning. I am here with Dan Levy, who has been a regular at the pro-Israel rallies that happen here every week for 107 rallies. Those have since concluded since October. And we're back. We're back for the menorah lighting ceremony. How does it feel to be back at this intersection?
I mean, feels good. It feels like everyone who came here every week is like a family. So it's good to be amongst, And also it feels important, especially after this news from Australia this morning, where a bunch of people doing this exact same thing, lighting a menorah, were subjected to a terrorist attack, and they were murdered for being Jews in public.
Shame on the government of Australia, the government of Canada, because they refuse to say that it was a terrorist attack against the Jewish community. They try to manage the public opinion, avoiding saying that was anti-Semitic terrorist attack. And we know that the Muslim community is the one attacking the Jewish community. We, the citizens, the people, we know who is our enemies. The government are refusing to protect the Jews, the Christians. The government are against God.
Okay, I'm here with Sunny Singh, who is an Indian ally of the Jewish community. What brought you out today, Sunny?
Well, you gotta stand for the truth, the justice, and the freedom, liberation. You gotta research your history and stand with the Jews, the original people of the land.
Happy Hanukkah!
What about on a more local level? What would you have to say to someone like Olivia Chow and other city officials?
I would say that we understand exactly what's going on. The Jewish community is a lot smaller than other communities that you're supporting, and we're not really important to you. Yes, you've got your little statements here and there with, a little bit of lip service when we undergo tragedies like we are today, but it's not enough. You need to step up. You need to protect all communities, even if we were 10 people within this country, we deserve protection. Our people deserve protection, just like any other demographic deserves freedom and protection within this country. We're not in a third world country, we're in Canada. And the fact that we're in Canada means we're supposed to be free society. We don't feel very free. We feel like we're being persecuted on a daily basis. And unfortunately, organizations such as mine have to step up and protect our community when all of us, as taxpayers, are doing that, and we're supposed to be protected by those who get paid to protect us. And again, they would love to do that, but they're not being allowed to do it. So Olivia Chow, Carney, they all need to step up and do better, do much, much better. And the Liberal Party across the board, enough with the lip service. Get it done.
I was worried that people wouldn't come because they'd be afraid. But I said to myself, I'm absolutely going regardless of what's happening because I'm a proud Jewish lady and there is no way that I'm going to let that be dimmed by anybody.
So you think it's important that people still come out and show their Jewish identity?
I 100% do.
Why was it important to still come out today?
We are here to give hope, to bring light to a world that is full of darkness. We see hatred, conflict, murder, lying. We see so many terrible things with the human spirit right now. Our job is to be a light unto the world. And today we are lighting the first candle of Hanukkah. No matter what the darkness is, the light will fill that darkness. And that's what we're doing here. That is our mission. It has been our mission for 3,000 years, and we're going to continue no matter what. This is not the first time we've suffered tragedies, but we will prevail.
Just earlier today, I heard them saying globalize the Intifada across the street.
Mr. Alan Austin, who was a true Maccabi in our time. Please come up here and join us.
Some would say that is exactly what happened in Australia today.
It is exactly what happened in Australia. That is the definition of globalizing the Intifada. The first Intifada and the second Intifada were waves of terrorist attacks, bus bombings, restaurant bombings, car rammings, stabbings. I'm sure other things I'm not even thinking of that were against Israelis and Jews. It murdered innocent civilians, and that's what today we saw in Australia, the murder of innocent civilians. That is what globalizing the Intifada means. That's what we saw in Washington, D.C. That's what we saw in Colorado. That's what we saw in L.A. and back in 2023. That is what globalizing the Intifada is. Globalizing the Intifada is stabbing a Jewish woman who's just shopping for Jewish groceries in Ottawa. Globalizing the Intifada is beating the crap out of a Jewish man in front of his children in Montreal. That's what globalizing the Intifada is, and it's tragic and disgusting that our leadership hasn't condemned it.
Are you seeing a lot of parallels with what's happening in Australia and here in Canada as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it can happen right now, for all we know. It's devastating. But, when the Australian Prime Minister gets up there and makes all these statements today that are empty, on October 8th, before Israel even retaliated and launched an attack, they were out there on the Opera House stairs singing "Gas the Jews." So how can you not? Yeah, it's
very similar to the kind of mouthpiece, the kind of lip service that Carney's giving us as well here.
100%.
So what would your message be to the counter-protesters across the street?
Go home. Get a life, go home, figure out your own community, figure out how you can improve your own lives. God knows you have a long distance to go to do that.
Yeah, they have the right, the freedom of speech, but we know that they are haters. They celebrate murder. Today, people of Israel is weeping, but they are celebrating. In October 7, the people of Israel weeping, but they are celebrating. They have freedom of speech, but they are haters. They are the Philistines. They came against the Jews, then the Christian, against the rest of the people. They want to put Sharia law. If you don't convert them to Islam, they will cut your head. This is the religion of peace. Haters, murders, and people need to know the truth.
We are going to take a break from listening to bad actors lecture us on how to be moral. And we are going to teach and inspire a world that is desperate to see what God-given morality truly looks like.
Listen to them, heckle me, and threaten me in real time. Right across the street, they're threatening me in real time. Well, I got news for them. I'm in a great mood because we just lit the menorah collectively and bet you that regardless of whatever it is you do, we're going to light the menorah for another 2,000 years. There you go. Chag Sameach, everybody. Thank you.
Our hearts break for Australia and the victims of this morning's massacre. This slogan globalized the Intifada, where so many people ignore it. Police stand there, politicians stand there, and I will tell you that is a call for mass murder, and it must be met with the fullest force of the law.
As we light the candles as a symbol and a reminder of the perseverance of the Jewish community. And today is yet another test in a very long road and a long journey, but another reminder of the resilience and the perseverance of the people of Jewish faith. And so I am proud to stand here today with all of you, friends, family members, colleagues of the Jewish faith, as we celebrate light through darkness, as we celebrate good triumphing over evil, and we come together as friends, family, a community, and a city that is safe, a city that is tolerant, and a city that denounces hate. So have a fantastic holiday season, a brilliant 2026. Gather with friends and family today, and hug Hanukkah Sameach. God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
You know, stop promising, stop saying, you know, stop apologizing and giving your sympathy. Your sympathy's not needed. What's needed is action and being proactive. That's what's needed.
One final message to the Jewish community. Do you have anything to say about Jews facing fear, leaving their homes in this city? What would your message be to people who are afraid?
Listen, stand strong. We're resilient. We've been through this before. We've been through much, much worse, and we always get through it, and we always survive. And there's no reason why we won't survive this. And I will tell you that as long as you're strong and you stand up and don't ever be afraid, don't ever be ashamed to be who you are, be loud, be proud, and always be who you are. Like any community's allowed to, we're allowed to.
Do you worry about your safety as a part of this community in Toronto?
Absolutely, absolutely. We need our politicians to help us, and we need to have stronger laws that will help us so that we know that we can be safe.
They can come here and spread all the lies that they want. Israel is not committing a genocide and has not committed a genocide. We were defending ourselves against people who actually committed a massacre, who killed thousands of people, kidnapped more, and then killed them in cold blood. We are here to answer that hate and to show our community that we are united. We will stay united forever. And no matter what, we don't hear their message. We know what we are doing here. We've been doing it for 2,000 years since the destruction of the temple. The temple will be rebuilt one day, God willing, and their voices will be completely silenced.
My sincere wish for them is that they have very soon they realize how vile and disgusting and bigoted their actions have been over the past few years, and I wish them a long life, health, and living with that shame and knowledge that they can never undo the hurt and the harm that they have caused over the past few years and the destruction they have wrought on our society. So I wish them a long life and health and just living with the shame of their disgusting actions over the past few years.
Enough already. I don't go to your neighborhoods to protest in your neighborhoods. We're post a ceasefire. I don't see any political offices or anything around here. It just makes no sense. They're just coming here to intimidate a community. And, I'm all for peaceful protests, but do it where there's a city hall or anywhere there's a parliament or, the Ontario legislators. And we Jewish neighborhoods and intimidate people.
If you would like to learn more, please visit nohate.com, and we're going to see if we can get anybody from the opposite side of the street here to talk to us. What brings you out today?
Charlotte, are you from Rebel News?
What brings you out today? We're getting lots of questions about myself, but not a lot about what we're doing here today. Is there a reason we're here today? Why are we here today on the first night of Hanukkah?
I swear she was just a singer a couple days ago. What happened?
Is there a reason that we're in the Jewish neighborhood, the largest Jewish neighborhood in Canada, today after the first night of Hanukkah? Nobody has an answer why we're in a Jewish neighborhood on the first night of Hanukkah, no? Why are we here today?
We're here because it's Canada. We can be anywhere we want to be, and it's nice weather outside. Why can't we be here?
Is there a reason we're not demonstrating somewhere more public? Dundas Square, downtown?
We like this area, though. It's nice. Let me look at the views all around here. It's beautiful.
What's so great about this area?
How do you feel about being an informant for us?
Metro.
And getting other guys on the Zionist side arrested? How do you feel about being...
Absolutely no shame, no reverence, no consideration for the fact that 12 people were just killed at a similar Hanukkah celebration in Australia. This is what they do every week.
Thank you, Scotty, for all the evidence you give us.
You do realize that most of the things that happen here happen from the people on that side, right? They're the ones that are throwing acid at us. They're the ones who are threatening us. Don't touch this phone. Don't touch this phone.
You want to go? I'm okay. Alrighty, that concludes the menorah lighting ceremony. I'm not hearing any valid arguments as to why people are here today, just hurling insults, so I don't think we're really going to get anywhere.
Scott, I have a question for you. How many coffees does Aaron Hadida give you every morning on Instagram? How many copies do you get? How many people pay you for coffee? Stay here.
I like to think of them as my biggest fans. We got some great answers from people on the Israel side of the street, and then we got a lot of yelling and nonsense from that side, which tends to be the norm. I would have loved to have had a constructive conversation, but unfortunately that doesn't seem possible with them. But we'll try again. These protests started at places like the Israeli consulate, downtown Toronto, Dundas Square. That makes sense. But for over a year now, they've been coming consistently to a Jewish neighborhood. And then they say that, oh, it's Zionists, it's not Jewish people. What do you say to that?
Well, today in Bondi Beach, they were there to celebrate Hanukkah, the celebration of the first night of Hanukkah, lighting the menorah. They weren't there because of anything that's going on in Israel. So what do you say to that? Why were they there?
I say I'm Israel Chai forever and ever and ever. And, you know, we always have to be the light, and we always have to spread kindness and love. And I think that's the most important thing as Jewish people. We have to help people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Kindness is the best thing ever.
There's a great phrase, I don't know who came up with it, but first they come for the Saturday people, then they come for the Sunday people. And
exactly. If you believe that city officials in Toronto need to stand up to protect the Jewish community and their allies at events like this and every day, please visit nohate.com to sign the petition.